I'd like to say good morning to everybody.
Good morning.
I'm going to be reading Job, the 2nd chapter, and I will be reading out of a Holy Name Bible containing the Holy Name version of the Holy New Testament, critically compared with ancient authorities and various manuscripts, revised by the late A.V. Trainer of the Scripture Research Association. Job, the 2nd chapter. Again, there was a man when the sons of Elohim came to present himself before Yahweh, and Satan came also among them to present himself before Yahweh. And Yahweh said unto Satan, From whence comest thou? And Satan answered Yahweh and said, From going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. And Yahweh said unto Satan, Hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and upright man, one that feareth Elohim, and eschewed evil? And still he holdeth fast his integrity, although thou movest me against him, to destroy him without cause. And Satan answered Yahweh, and said, Skin for skin, yea, all that a man hath will he give for his life. But put forth thine hand now, and touch his bone and his flesh, and he will curse thee to thy face. And Yahweh said unto Satan, Behold, he is in thy hand, but save his life. So when Satan went forth from the presence of Yahweh, and smote Job with sore boils, from the sole of his foot unto the crown of his head. And he took him a potsherd to scrape himself withal, and he sat down among the ashes. Then said his wife unto him, Dost thou still retain thy integrity? Curse Elohim and die. And he said unto her, Thou speakest as one of the foolish women speaketh. What shall we receive at hand of Elohim? And shall we not receive evil? In all this did not sin with his lips. Now when Job's 3 friends heard of all the evil that come upon them, they came every one of them from his own place. Eliphaz the Temanite, and Bildad the Shulite, and Zophar the Naamathite. For they had made an appointment together to come to mourn with him, and to comfort him. And when they lifted up their eyes afar off, and knew him not, they lifted up their voice, and wept. And they rent every one his mantle, and sprinkled dust upon their heads toward heaven. So they sat down with him upon the ground 7 days and 7 nights. And none spake a word unto him, for they saw that his grief was very great. I just read Job, the 2nd chapter. We have some cards up here. That if you would like to sign. One for Johnny Mays. He had a heart attack and had a stent put in, and he's out of the hospital now, but he's at home resting. Then we have another one here for, I think this one's for Lenore Allen, that's right. Okay, and then one here for Bernadette Salas. She had back surgery, so she's at home also, right?
Yes.
Okay. She's been pretty sick for a long time, that's why she hasn't been in class, and now she had an operation. And then here is an announcement about the memorial for Dr. Tony Edwards, the president of Tucson, Arizona, passed away about a week and a half ago. If anybody wants to read it, it's up here. But it's going to be in Tucson Saturday, the July 23rd, from 11 to 2 p.m. But for more details, it's up here if you want to read it. And now that Oshia Love has left and moved to Cincinnati, we're still looking for someone to come forward and be the secretary. And basically the duties of the secretary is to do the filing and mail in the reports to headquarters and take the minutes during the meetings that we have. You had a question, Juan?
I'll talk to you after.
Oh, okay. So anyway, we really need to have the secretary. That's one of the main primary jobs on the board. So if anybody's interested, see Juan or myself. And our speaker this morning will be the Dean, Dr. Fred Allen Jr.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I just wanted to emphasize again about having a secretary for the class. I know some other schools around the country, they got so many people jumping at the bit to be somebody in the class. And people like pulling teeth and there are people that just have not responded to our cry for somebody to participate in our board. One of the three main officers of the school is the president, vice president, and secretary. And they're all for the benefit of the school. We have things we got to take care of legally, and therefore we had to have somebody to be in that position to handle those type of things. The secretary also has a responsibility of following the records that we have. We got some records we have from OSHA that I want to go through with them and try to narrow it down to what we really need to have. Clean that file up, clean it up quite a bit. So whoever steps forward and wants to be that, we'll try to work with that and get that resolved. I know Bernadette's been out several weeks, and she called me. She's really hates that she's not able to make class. And I told her, not able to make class, fine. You know what? You have been blessed enough to know what you have learned and stand fast in that. And I think one or Dr. Chefs gets from time to time sends DVDs of the class to her so she's able to know what's going on in the class. And that could be with anybody in the classroom. I know people that have had back problems and stuff who didn't have operations is not comfortable. And I have a sister, she's had two back operations and still has problems with it. But anyhow, that being said, and being concerned about the brothers in the class and things, maybe we have noticed the number of deaths that have occurred in the school system. And you should be kind of anticipating those type of things happening as everybody getting older and older. And really this happening not to be getting younger and younger. So keep a positive thought about it, and hopefully that God will work everything out according to His will. Last Friday night we had testimonies. We thought all of them were very good, and the testimonies expressed their great concern for things they've learned in this class and also what Yahweh has done for them. I wanted to take this opportunity because this book of Job, the first chapter of Job was read last Friday night. I wanted to read the second chapter to be read today. And I want to talk a little bit about Job and about our situation as a people as well. Job is a very good book. You do find that there's no record be given as to when it was written, who the author of it. It's not been recorded that way. Some have said it was Moses that wrote it. I have no proof of it one way or the other. I recall the founder himself saying anything different about the author himself. We do know one thing for sure, and that is that Yahweh is the one that preserves the Bible, and He's also the one that calls mankind to. He's also the one that inspired mankind to write what they wrote. So therefore we know the real author is Yahweh. That's the only thing that's the comfort you can have in that. But Job is a very good personality to look at. You should draw from him strength, courage to endure. So that's what he went through. Now, so the benefit of those who are not here Friday night, you're going to go back and read the first chapter a little bit, and then go on into the second, and then you're going to try to find some things about what Job went through. And then hopefully be beneficial for everybody here. So let's go back to Job, first chapter, and let's read this. I want you to understand something. And some of the things that's happening right within the school system today is somewhat based on what we're getting ready to read about. One reason why I also want to deal with it was because some of the things Dr. Kennedy insisted with us, or told us, or talked to us about many, many times, was that Satan's, we learned about Satan, what Satan's liked and disliked, what he did and did not do. And that kept us abreast of knowing what we should look for and to expect when we look at Satan's movements and things they're going to say and do. Now I'm saying that, and we'll talk about it in a few minutes, but I'm saying it so you be foremost in your mind about what we're going to talk about. Now, let's go ahead and read out.
Job 1:1.
Mm-hmm.
There was a man in the land of Uz, whose name was Job. And that man was perfect and upright, and one that feared Elohim and eschewed evil.
Now, everybody recognize that Job is unique. He's a man that feared Yahweh, and he hated evil. That's very two good qualities for a person to have. Okay. Read on.
And there were born unto him 7 sons
Yes, 7 sons,
and 3 daughters.
3 daughters. Read on.
His substance also was 7,000 sheep.
Now, consider a man having 7,000 sheep. Now, you have, I suppose you have it at one time, too.
For what, 7 or 8?
7, 8, okay. We multiply by 1,000. And this shows you the wealth the man had, okay? 7,000 sheep, read on.
And 3,000 camels.
3,000 camels.
And 500 yoke of oxen.
500 yoke of oxen, that means 1,000 oxen. Because two of them have 2 on yoke. Okay? So he's a very wealthy man. Okay, read on.
And 500 she-asses.
Mm.
And a very great household.
Great household. Okay. Big house, okay, read on.
So that this man was the greatest of all the men of the east.
All the men of the east. Now you say all the world, he said of the east, okay? Okay, read on.
And his sons went and fasted in their houses, every one his day,
Mm-hmm.
and sent and called for their 3 sisters to eat and drink with them.
Now they had a big party at the house. Okay. Bringing the sisters and the brother, they come in there having a big party at the house. Okay, read on.
And it was so when the days of their feasting were gone about,
Mm-hmm.
that Job sent and sacrificed them, and rose up early in the morning, and offered burnt offerings according to the number of them all.
Now he's offering a burnt offerings unto Yahweh, see, for his son's behavior.
Right.
See? Okay, read on.
For Job said, it may be that my sons have sinned, and cursed Elohim in their hearts. Thus did Job continually.
Now notice what he said. Notice how he qualified that. He cursed Yahweh. He talking about his sons may have.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
They may have in their hearts cursed Yahweh. So just in case it did, I'm offering a sacrifice on their behalf. He's showing that he has great love for his own family as well as a respect for Yahweh. Okay, read on.
Now there was a day when the sons of Elohim came to present themselves before Yahweh.
I said there was a day when the sons of Yahweh came to present themselves before Yahweh. Read.
And Satan came also among them.
Satan came also among them. Now the founder went on to elaborate on that sometime. He said, now every time you go to class, see, Satan's going to be there too. Now somebody say, were you talking about me? No, I ain't. It might be just to speak about dealing with his own demons. So the thing I'm trying to get at is that you got to look at, you got to understand, Satan is present. Okay? You have to be prepared to arm yourself to be able to defend and know when he's approaching you to cause you to do that which is wrong. Okay, read on.
And Yahweh said unto Satan,
And Yahweh said unto Satan,
Whence comest thou?
now whence comest thou? Why you come? Read.
Then Satan answered Yahweh and said, From going to and fro in the earth.
From going to and fro in the earth. In other words, he's on a search constantly to deceive as many as he can to keep them from having eternal life. That's his job. That's his task. So he's going throughout the world finding anybody he can to cause them to protest or go against Yahweh. Okay, read on.
And from walking up and down in it. And Yahweh said unto Satan, Hast thou considered my servant Job?
Now here's Yahweh now. See? Have you considered my servant Job? You already know he's a very highly respected man, very wealthy and all that. Have you considered my servant Job? Okay, read.
That there is none like him in the earth,
There's none like him in the earth.
a perfect and upright man,
Perfect and upright man.
one that feareth Elohim,
One that feareth Elohim
and escheweth evil.
and escheweth evil or hate evil. Okay, read on.
Then Satan answered Yahweh and said,
Then Satan answered Yahweh and said, now this is what he says now. See? Read.
Doeth Job fear Elohim for naught?
Did Job fear Elohim for not? Read.
Have not thou made an hedge about him?
Have you made a hedge around him? Have you made a hedge around him where nobody can get to it? See? If you move that hedge, I'll get him. I'll take care of it. I'll beat him down. See? Read.
And about his house,
And about his house.
and about all that he hath,
And all
on
that
every
he had.
side?
You know, Satan is looking at the wealth he has and all this is a hedge him. Because if you remove all that, he'll curse you. But that's his mindset now. See, read on.
Thou hast blessed the work of his hands, and his substance is increased in the land. But put forth thine hand now,
But now put forth thy hand now,
and touch all that he hath,
and you touch all that he has.
and he will curse thee to thy face.
He will curse thee to thy face. So now, Satan has presented to Yahweh. See? That you take away all the things that he has, he'll curse you. So he's on a job. Remember, his intent is to get everybody to see, to go against Yahweh. See? Not have respect for Yahweh, not fear him. See? Okay, read on.
And Yahweh said unto Satan, Behold, all that he hath is in thy power.
Now he said, all that he has is in thy power. So he's given Satan full reign to go after Job and get him to curse Yahweh. Okay, read on.
Only upon himself put not forth thy hand.
Only put himself and not for thy hand.
So Satan went forth from the presence of Yahweh,
So Satan departed from the presence of Yahweh.
and there was a day when his sons and his daughters were eating and drinking wine in their eldest brother's house. And there came a messenger unto Job and said,
There's a man came from their brother's house, from his son's house, to Job, saying, read.
The oxen were plouging, and the asses feeding beside them,
The asses were feeding beside him,
and the Sabaeans fell upon them and took them away. Yea, they have slain the servants with the edge of the sword.
So the enemy came in, slayed the keepers of the herd, and took all the animals away. Okay, read on.
And I only am escaped alone to tell thee.
Yahweh always show. Now what you see there, Yahweh always know how to deliver somebody out to give a report. Okay, read on.
While he was yet speaking,
While he was yet speaking, while this one man came to him, while he was yet speaking,
there came another
there came another
and said,
and said,
The fire of Elohim is fallen from heaven, and hath burned up the sheep and the servants,
they burned the sheep and the servants up, read,
and consumed them.
and consumed them.
And I only am escaped alone to tell thee.
7,000 sheep gone. See, the servants gone. Okay, read.
while he was yet speaking.
While he's just speaking. Now, this is one thing right after the other coming to his ear. See? And at the same time, he's not, oh, what's going to happen there? Oh, no, he's still standing firm. Okay, you know.
There came also another and said, the Chaldeans made out 3 bands
The Chaldeans made out 3 bands
and fell upon the camels
and fell upon the camels.
and have carried them away,
Uh-huh.
yea, and slain the servants with the edge of the sword.
And I took his camels now. Okay, read on.
And I only am escaped alone to tell thee.
Mm-hmm.
While he was yet speaking, there came another also,
There's 3 of them come already, right? Now here's the 4th one coming. Okay, read on.
and said, thy sons and thy daughters were eating and drinking wine in their eldest brother's
Now
house.
this is his own seed now. His own seed, his sons and his daughters, they were eating and drinking. Read.
And behold, there came a great wind from the wilderness,
Mhm.
and smote the 4 corners of the house,
Mhm.
and it fell upon the young men, and they are dead. And
Now- No, remember now. See, you always let Satan go. But Satan don't really have any part of his own.
Right.
You always causing these things to happen. Okay, you know.
and I only am escaped
Mhm.
alone to tell thee.
Mm-hmm.
Then Job arose
And Job arose,
and went and rent his mantle
went in his mantle,
and shaved his head
shaved his head.
and fell down upon the ground
Mm-hmm.
and worshipped and said, naked came I out of my mother's womb.
Observe what he's reading. He's talking about the devil. Naked came out of my mother's womb. He didn't come in with gold and silver in his hand. So you read,
And naked shall I return
and naked shall
thither.
I return. So he realized he took everything and leave me naked. That's where I came in.
Right.
See, I still believe in Yahweh. Read.
Yahweh gave, and Yahweh have taken away.
Right.
Blessed be the name of Yahweh.
So he's still praising Yahweh. Remember, he's shaving his head. He's taking a vow unto Yahweh. He's not going to forsake his name. Okay? Read on.
In all this Job sinned not,
In all this, Job sinned not.
nor charged Elohim foolishly.
Mm-hmm. Now, you know how, now sometimes you hear some of these testimonies people have going through these fires, earthquakes, tornadoes, all these different how people survive. Some people give very good testimony about, they lost everything. See, but they're going to pick up and build again, that type of thing. And then you got somebody they're going to make charges, they're going to make a case against Yahweh. Why did he do this? They're going to complain about it. See, so you got all those kind of things. It's pros and cons you have in the world today. See, okay. Read on. Let's see what has happened.
Second chapter.
Mhm.
Again, there was a day when the sons of Elohim came to present themselves before Yahweh.
Now, it doesn't give you any kind of time frame between one event and another event. I'm talking about when Satan had taken away everything Job had. Now here's another time when the sons of Yahweh come together. See? Now see what happens now. Read.
And Satan came also among them
Mm-hmm.
to present himself before Yahweh.
Mm-hmm.
And Yahweh said unto Satan, from whence comest thou?
So let me ask you a question before we get moving, brother. Do not Yahweh require Israel to come before him? 3 times a year he required them to come before him. See? So here's the event now. Here we have the sons of Yahweh coming together. And Satan came also again. Okay, read on.
And Satan answered Yahweh and said, from going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it.
Got the same MO. Same thing. Saying the same thing. Okay, read.
And Yahweh said unto Satan,
Mm-hmm.
hast thou considered my servant Job,
Have you considered my servant Job? Read.
that there is none like him in the earth,
Mm-hmm.
a perfect and an upright man,
Mm-hmm.
one that feareth Elohim, and escheweth evil, and still he holdeth fast his integrity, although thou movest me against him, to destroy him without cause. And Satan answered Yahweh and said, Skin for skin,
Skin for skin.
yea,
Yea,
all that a man hath
all that a man hath
will he give for his life.
will he give for his life.
But put forth thy hand
When I put forth thy hand,
now,
now,
and touch his bone
and touch his bone
and his flesh,
and his flesh,
and he will curse thee
he
to
will
thy
curse
face.
thee to thy face. Now, Satan is telling Yahweh, if you just allow me to get to his flesh and his bone, he'll curse you. See? I'm trying to show you the extent he's going to go to try to get you to fall down and worship him. Okay, read on.
And Yahweh said unto
And
Satan,
Yahweh said unto Satan,
Behold,
Behold,
he is in thy hand,
he's in thy hands,
but save his life.
but save his life. What's his life?
So,
His soul. Save his soul. You do anything with him, but don't touch his soul. And that's the part that's what we're down here fighting about now. We're fighting for your soul. See? And the only way your soul is going to be saved is through Yahshua Messiah.
right.
Okay? Now watch what the story goes now. Remember now Satan is trying to get to Job. Get him to curse Yahweh. Okay, read.
So went Satan forth from the presence of Yahweh, and smote Job with sore boils from the sole of his foot
So is people.
unto the crown of his head.
Mm-hmm.
And he took him and postured to scrape himself withal.
You know, you take a corn cob, cut all the corn off, the corn off of it, and let it dry. It's kind of like a good thing to scrub with it. And he scraped it to save his sores, comfort his sores he had on his body. See? See, you get the picture of what you always call him, what you always allow Satan to do to him. See, that's to his body, his flesh. Okay, read it.
And he sat down among the ashes.
Mm-hmm.
Then said his wife unto him,
Then said his wife unto him, this one she's gone to bed with, sit around and talk to. Now she's coming to him. Read.
Dost thou still retain thy integrity?
Looking at him, sitting down here with all these boils on his face and all these boils on his flesh and body all the way down. See him out there as a dust to the earth. She looks upon him and said, do not obtain thy integrity. You're still not going to give in. Read.
Curse Elohim and die.
Watch it now. What's happened now? Satan is coming into Job through his wife. See? Read.
But he said unto her,
But he said unto her,
Thou speakest as one
thou
of the,
speakest as one
of the foolish women
of the
speaketh.
foolish woman. Read.
What?
What?
Shall we receive good at the hand of Elohim?
Shall we not receive good at the hand of Yahweh? Read.
And shall we not receive evil?
And shall we not receive evil? See? Now, if you consider, if everybody had a mentality like that, we had a lot less crime, a lot less war, a lot less trouble you have in the world. But this satanic spirit has in their mind, give me, take. Say, I want what you have and anything else. That's what causes you the problems you have. See? But read on.
And all this did not Job sin with his lips.
That being spit down, you got people with all kinds of problems, back problems, leg problems, arm problems, all kinds of problems. See, hair falling out, we got all kinds of problems. We try to go around and try to do our best, look our best. If our hair's falling out, we go put the wig on. Just to do anything better to look good in the eyes of somebody else. See? Okay, read on. And also give you some comments too. Okay, read on.
Now when Job's 3 friends heard of all this evil that was come unto him,
Now these are 3 friends of Job. They heard of all the sheep being killed, his camel being taken away, his family, his kids dying. They come to see him. Okay, read.
they came every one from his own place. Eliphaz and Temanite, and Bildad
The Shulamite,
the Shuhite,
so far,
and Sophar
the male type.
the Naatite, for they had made an appointment together to come to mourn with him
They come to mourn with him.
and to
Comfort him.
comfort him.
Read.
And when they lifted up their eyes afar off,
They saw him afar off. Read.
and knew him not,
Didn't recognize him.
Mm-hmm.
The boy on his face and all that distorted his whole face and countenance, they didn't recognize him. They were stunned at what he's going through. Read.
they lifted up their voice and wept,
They lifted up their voice and they just started to cry for him. Read.
and they rent every one his mantle,
They ripped their mantle, they tore their mantle off. Read.
and sprinkled dust upon their
There
heads
was dust
toward
upon their
heaven.
head. Read.
Toward heaven.
Mm-hmm.
So they sat down with him upon the
Now, you
ground.
throw the dust toward heaven. It doesn't stay up there now. Just be aware it's going to come back down. So it came down on them. Okay, read on.
So they sat down with him upon the ground 7
They
days
sat down upon the ground with him for 7 days.
and 7 nights,
For 7 nights. Read.
and none spake a word unto him,
Then spake a word unto him. Read on.
for they saw that his grief was very great.
He saw his grief was very great. Now I'm trying to get this picture painted so you be able to appreciate what's going on with this man Job. Now the three friends came and sat down with him. And they started talking and philosophizing with him about life and death. See? They were dealing with all kinds of things. And we find that Job, he tried his best to explain to them about his concern, his love for Yahweh. Go to the 19th chapter of Job. Think about the 23rd verse and read that.
Job 19 and 23.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that my words were now written.
Job said, "Oh, if my words were now written,
Oh, that they were printed in a book,
if they were printed in a book."
that they were graven with an iron pen and lead in the rock forever.
Read.
For I know that my Redeemer
And I
liveth.
said, now I know that my Redeemer liveth. Now I'm trying to show, here's a man, I'm going to say around the time of Moses, around that time, I understand, because we don't have record of what time it was. But I'm trying to show his believer, his concern in a Redeemer coming. Something he knew was going to happen, something was going to transpire. He's looking ahead. Regardless of his position or his condition he's in. See? Read.
For I know that my Redeemer liveth,
Mhm.
and that he shall stand at the latter day upon the earth.
He's going to stand in the latter day upon the earth. I know he's going to stand in the latter day upon the earth. Read.
And though after my skin worms destroy this body,
Now he's talking about after skin worms, he's talking about after his death now. Skin worms devoured his body.
yet in my flesh
Yet, he says, in my flesh
shall I see Elohim,
should I see Elohim.
whom I shall see for myself,
I'm going to see him for
and
myself.
my eyes shall behold,
And my eyes are going to behold him,
and not another,
and not another.
though my reins be consumed within me.
Though my reins be consumed within me. In other words, he's dead, he's off the scene. Yet he says, yet in my flesh will I see him for myself and not for another. Dr. Kinley, oftentimes, he brought this up when he talked about Job. He said it was, in Springfield, there was a man, that was a mortician. And he helped him out many times. Dr. Kinney helped him out many times, preparing bodies for service and stuff like that. And the mortician said, Dr. Kinney says, there's a verse in the Bible that I don't understand. I don't understand this at all. Repeat that 25th verse, please.
For I know that my Redeemer liveth,
Job says, I know that my Redeemer liveth,
and he shall stand at the latter
and
day
that he shall stand in the latter day
upon the earth.
upon the earth.
And though after my skin worms destroy this body,
Now this was the more attention. He knows that the skin worms will devour that body.
yet in my flesh
Then he says, yet in my flesh.
I shall see Elohim.
How's he going to see his flesh? His flesh has been eaten up by the worms. How's he going to see him? That's the condition he's talking about. He's confirmed, he did not know how that's going to happen. That's what he's concerned about. Did you finish up?
Though my reins be consumed within me.
Though my reins be consumed within me. See, read. Okay, that's not very good. Now we got to understand what is he talking about.
Right.
What's going to happen? What's going to happen? Now remember, this is Job. This is Job. What he's expecting to happen in the future. See, after he's dead, his flesh been consumed by worms. Now what's left most of the time is your skeleton,
Right.
the bones that survive. They are a type. They are a figure of life after death. See? Well, see, I want to do this now. I'll do this and come back and get it. Now turn over to Jeremiah. No, Ezekiel, Ezekiel, the 37th chapter. Ezekiel 37. 37:1. I'm going to read this down. I want you to be completely informed about what we're talking about. So you'll be able to put this thing together.
Right.
See? The world today still thinks that Joshua rose from the dead, when they say Jesus, rose from the dead as a physical body. See? This is where the problem is. And of course, he rose from physical body, and he thinks everybody else is going to raise from physical body. That's the concept of Christianity. See? I'm trying to show you now, it's not that way. Okay. Now here we have Ezekiel. Ezekiel is also a prophet. But he's having a vision. Let's read.
Ezekiel 37:1.
Mm-hmm.
The hand of Yahweh was upon me,
The hand of Yahweh was upon me.
and carried me out in the spirit of Yahweh,
Carry me out in the spirit of Yahweh. It means he's not in the physical, he's not in the natural now. He's in the spirit of Yahweh. Read.
and set me down in the midst of the valley,
And set me down in the midst of a valley,
which was full of bones.
which were full of bones. Now, I don't know how you might feel about that. You set out a bunch of bones. You're not really comfortable. See? So here he's sitting out there in a bunch of bones in this vision he's having. Okay, read.
And caused me to pass by them round about.
Cause him to go around about the bones of the valley. Read.
And behold, they were very many in the open valley,
Very many in the open valley.
and lo, they were very dry.
They were very dry. Been there a long time. Read.
And he said unto me, Son of man,
Son of man.
can these bones live?
Now this is Yahweh asking the man, says, can these bones live? Now your mindset is you have never seen bones live again. You know, you've seen bones in museums and wherever else you might have seen them. See? But he's not asking, can these bones live? Read.
And I answered,
And I answered.
O Yahweh Elohim, thou knowest.
See, I got out that? Thou knowest. You know the answer to this yourself. Read.
Again he said unto me, Prophesy upon these bones.
Now notice what he said, prophesy upon these bones. So this is a prophecy about dry bones. So you read.
And say unto them,
And say unto them,
O ye dry bones,
O ye dry bones,
hear the word of Yahweh.
hear the word of Yahweh. Read.
Thus says Yahweh Elohim
Thus says Yahweh Elohim
unto these bones,
unto these bones.
Behold,
Now this is Yahweh Elohim speaking to the bones. Not Ezekiel. Read.
Right.
Read.
behold, I will cause breath to enter into you, and ye shall live.
Now think about that.
Yeah.
You ever seen skeletons? See? Anything, breath or wind, go right through them. That's what you would think about it. I mean, because you see, you got eye sockets, they don't hold the earth, mouth, where put all these parts of the bones. See? But you have to breathe, breath come upon them. Okay, you know.
And I will lay sinews upon you,
That's how we lay sinews upon you.
and bring up flesh upon you,
That's muscle, and then that's flesh.
and cover you with skin,
And cover you with skin,
and put breath in you,
and then put breath in you.
and ye shall live.
Then ye shall live.
And you shall know that I am Yahweh.
Now he's talking about the bones now. We have sinews. See?
Flesh,
Flesh and
skin,
skin.
and breath.
See? And the breath. See? Okay, read on.
And ye shall know that I am Yahweh.
And then you're going to know that I'm Yahweh.
So I prophesied as I was commanded. And I prophesied, and there was a noise. And
I
be-
prophesied there was a noise. You're down in this valley, and there was a noise. Read.
and behold, a shaking,
And behold, a shaking.
and the bones came together,
And the bones came together.
bone to bone.
Bone to bone.
And when I
Toe
beheld,
bone to knee bone, knee bone to, toe bone to the ankle bone to the leg bone to the knee bone to the, and these bones are coming together. They're all down there, they're all just assembled, now they're coming together. He's having this vision, these bones coming together. There was a shaking. See, read.
and when I beheld,
And when I beheld,
lo, the sinews and the flesh,
behold, the sinews
and the flesh
and the flesh
came upon them,
came upon them,
and the skin covered them above,
and the skin covered them above.
but there was no breath in them.
But there was no breath. There's a dead body there. No breath in it. Read on.
Then said he unto me,
There said he unto me,
prophesy unto the wind,
Now said now prophesy unto the wind.
prophesy, son of man,
Mm-hmm.
and say to the wind, thus says Yahweh Elohim,
Thus said Yahweh Elohim.
come from the four
So
winds,
this is being done by Yahweh now. See, read. Come ye
come,
from best of the four winds, read.
come from the four winds,
Mhm.
O ye breath,
O ye breath,
and breathe upon these slain,
breathe upon these slain,
that they may live.
that they may live.
So I prophesied as I was commanded,
He was being obedient. See, as I was commanded, read on.
and the breath came in unto them,
And the breath came in unto them,
and they lived,
and they lived.
and stood upon their feet, an exceeding great army.
An exceeding great army. See, read.
Then said he unto me, Son of man, these bones are the whole house of
Now I
Israel.
said, these bones are the whole house of Israel. The whole house of Israel. Okay. That then makes the bones he's talking about with the whole house of Israel. Okay, let's read on a bit. We're going to finish up with that. I went down all the way down to the 14, end of the 14th verse.
Behold, they say, then he said unto them, Son of man, these bones are the whole house of Israel.
Mhm.
Behold, they say, our bodies are dried,
And they say our bodies are dry.
and our hope is lost.
Mm-hmm.
We are cut off from our parts.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore prophesy and say unto them, Thus says Yahweh Elohim, Behold, O my people, I will open your graves,
I will open your graves.
and cause you to come up out of your
I will
graves,
cause you to come up out of the grave
and bring you into the land of Israel.
and bring you to the land of Israel.
And ye shall know that I am
Then
Yahweh,
you're going to know that I am Yahweh.
when I have opened your graves,
When I open your graves,
O my people,
O my,
and brought you up out of your graves,
brought you up out of your grave.
and shall put my spirit in
Then
you,
I'm gonna put my spirit in
and ye
you,
shall live.
and you shall live.
And I shall place you in your own land.
And I shall place you then in your own land.
Then shall ye know that I am Yahweh.
Then you shall know that I am
spoken
Yahweh.
it and have performed it.
And I
Spoken it.
have spoken it, and I have performed it. He's spoken in the sign clause. So now he's prophesying. This is a prophecy that's being prophesied. So somewhere along it's got to be fulfilled. See? Now Job's laying out in them bones now, folks. He's out in them bones. See? Adam's out in them bones. Noah's out there in them bones. See, Adam's out there in them bones. See? Ezekiel the prophet, Isaiah, all of them out there, they're all in them, all these bones. Yes, Ramona?
Yeah, why does he say the house of Israel, though? Is it symbolic?
It's them, I guess. All mankind actually counted in there. See? That's his son,
That's right.
Israel.
Spiritual Israel.
See? All of them before and after, all make the body of God of Israel. Let me say it this way. Oh, I better take it up more this way. Give me Romans 2, the last verse.
Romans 2:29. But he,
Is it
28.
28, yeah.
For he is not a Jew, which is one outward.
Now he said he is not. Now remember, oh boy, we got so many things in this thing. Genesis 11:1. Huh? I said Genesis 11:1.
Genesis 11:1.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole earth
The whole earth
was of one language
of one language
and of a few words.
and of a few words. I'm trying to give you all from Noah. All back to Adam, they all spoke Hebrew.
Right.
Right.
Made them
One language.
one language,
That's right.
Hebrew. Moses, who's having the vision, God was talking to him in Hebrew. So make them before, them at the time of Moses, and them all the way down is going to be the same way. So now we're going to understand who is a Jew,
Right.
who is an Israelite. See? Now most often people look at the flesh. See? Have a certain hue they think a Jew should have. Now remember Dr. Kelly, my dad, Dr. Gross, and I drove to a meeting they had in Santa Monica. And we went to this meeting. See? Yeah. Okay, Dr. Gross was a white German Jew. Dr. Kelly, myself, who was her name? And my dad. We went to this meeting. And the spokesman, because the meeting was about who's a Jew. Well, there's 3 black folks in there. Dr. Kimley, my dad, and myself. And we're sitting in there. And he had to say something about it. I said, well, also our black Jews. See? Now they get all this concept because they look at the skin, look at the color of skin, see? But you remember that when you go in and see, remember Solomon? Remember Bathsheba coming to see him? She was from Ethiopia. A lot of Jews went to Ethiopia when they were scared. They went to Ethiopia. They got burned. They got dark skin. So you got Jews with dark skin. Give me Song of Solomon 1:5.
Song of Solomon 1:5.
Mm-hmm.
I am black.
Now who's speaking?
Solomon.
Solomon. I'm black. What?
But come.
But come. What is that? That's one of the old Solomon? Black is beautiful?
That's where it came from, that's where it came from. That's where
Black is beautiful. So we're dealing with Jews, we're talking about Jews or Israelites, but really, we're not saying Israelites, we're saying Jews. Jews came up out of, came to Germany. And that type of thing, they tried to downgrade or make the Jews below the Jew, I'll put it that way. Below the Israelites, by calling them Jews. Okay. Read, I got, you said I'm back now, I'm going back now, I went to Genesis to show that they all had the same language. And guys will come all the way down. Now, let's go here, Romans, the 2nd chapter, 28th verse.
Romans 2:28.
Mm-hmm.
For he is not a Jew which is one outwardly.
He's not a Jew which is one out. So we can't worry about complexion, color of skin. See, read.
Neither is that circumcision,
Neither is there circumcision,
which was outward in the flesh,
outward in the flesh.
but he's a Jew.
Now,
which-
wait a minute, wait, let's stop a moment and get that straight.
Right.
See? When Yahweh made a promise to Abraham, see, now that's, I haven't taken time to cover it out, but, 400, 500 years after the flood, Yahweh made a promise to Abraham. That any seed will bless all the families of the earth. Then Yahweh bound that covenant with a sign, the sign of circumcision. See? So this is the first time you're going to get circumcision with mankind. See? So Abraham circumcised all the males in his household. He had a good number of people in his household. He had a pretty good sized household. When I say household, I'm talking about not only his family, the sons he had, but also the servants he had in the household. He only had one son at this particular time, that was Ishmael. So now they all being circumcised. And that became a requirement of Israel, of being circumcised. Let me stop and get another one where we at this point here. Give me Exodus, the 4th chapter. About the, almost 25th, 26th verse, down in the Bible where they were getting ready to go down, Moses getting ready to go down in Egypt and his wife. They said unto him, thou art a bloody husband unto me. I'm just trying to real clearly try to paint the picture so you understand why we go through all these things. See? This is how the world's so messed up, they don't understand what's going on. See? He is a Jew outwardly in the flesh, he's been circumcised. But see, it's not born, it's not done that way. Now you can be circumcised of the heart. And that will make you a Jew. Been born above, from above. That makes you a Jew. Okay? Read on a bit.
Exodus 4.
Exodus 4.
And
Read it up and check it.
it came to pass by the way of in the end, that that Yahweh met him and sought to kill him.
Now, this Yahweh's getting ready to meet Moses in the end. They're on their way back down into Egypt. Yahweh said we'll go back down and bring the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. See? Read.
Then Zipporah took a sharp
Zipporah,
stone.
his wife, Yahweh's getting ready to kill him. Why? What's it based upon? See, we read this, we don't think about it, we have not been taught in the world, we have not been taught how Yahweh required to be circumcised. See? And here's Zipporah. What was her nationality? Midianite. Midianite. And a Midian. A Midianite. She was a Midianite. And at this particular time on their way down in that area, they had 2 sons. Okay? Read on.
And then Zipporah took a sharp stone and cut off the foreskin of her son and cast it at his feet.
Now it said of his son. Did it say son? Huh? Son singular, right? Everybody always trying to be technical. I'm going to try to catch Dr. Kenny in your lie. And you know he had 2 sons.
Moses.
Moses had 2 sons by support. But now we want to talk about one of them. Finish up the verse.
And cast it at his feet and said, surely you are a husband demanding the rights of blood.
Demanding the rights of blood. So this is the first time she has encountered the need for a kid being circumcised. See? Now I don't remember anything given particular. I gave you the numbers to identify as to how old they were. They're probably almost adults. See? Going down in the land of Egypt. See? Now, if you understand what's going on, whatever happened to one had to happen to the other. Okay?
Sure.
So both kids were circumcised. Somebody said, how do you know? See? That's the way I do it. See? Exodus 12, 43 down. I can't remember exactly. Down there you're going to find out where God required, and the only ones who participated in the Passover had to be circumcised. See? That's how you know that those that came up out of the land of Egypt, they all were Israelites. They were all Jews. Did I go down too far?
43.
No? Perfect. Okay. I should remember what verse.
Exodus 12 and 43.
Mm-hmm.
And Yahweh said unto Moses and Aaron, this is the ordinance of the Passover.
This is an ordinance. This is an ordinance. This is something that is binding upon Israel. See? Read.
There shall no stranger
There shall no stranger
eat thereof,
eat thereof. Read.
but every man's servant that is brought for money,
Mm-hmm.
when thou hast circumcised him, then shall he eat
Then
thereof.
he shall eat the Passover. Man, you find out that it was a requirement to eat the Passover, he had to be circumcised.
Right.
Okay? So I mean, all these were Jews that came about the land of Egypt. Okay? How did they get all the way over this here? How did they get? Okay. I'm just trying to prove what I'm trying to prove about these being
Who's the Israelite?
being Israelite. Okay, did we finish up there in Romans? Did we finish up there?
No.
I think we finished up. I'm trying to nail that so we can see who is an Israelite. See? Because we're talking about the whole house, we're talking about the dry bones of God being the whole house of Israel. See? Okay. Where's the guy who
This is Romans 3 and 28. Neither is that circumcision which is outward in the flesh,
Neither is the circumcision which is outward in the flesh.
but he is a Jew which is inwardly.
He is a Jew which is inwardly.
And circumcision is that of the heart,
And circumcision is that of the heart,
in the spirit,
in the spirit,
and not in the letter,
and not of the
whose
letter.
praise is not of men,
Whose praise is not of man,
but of Elohim.
but of Yahweh. Does everybody know who's the Israelite now? Those who have been circumcised in the heart and mind. To make the body of God inside. There's the one who made the house of Israel. Okay, now. Ezekiel prophesied that God was going to call these dry bones, put sinews, flesh, and skin upon them. And they shall live. He's going to cause a breath of life to come in, and they shall live, and he's going to give them his spirit. That's what Ezekiel prophesied. Okay. Matthew 27:52. Start with 51.
Matthew 27 and 51. 50. Joshua, when he had cried again with a loud voice,
Joshua, when he had cried again with a loud voice, what verse are you reading that? Sorry.
50,
50, okay, verse 50. This is 27, 50, okay.
correct. Joshua, when he had cried again with a loud voice, yielded up the ghost.
He yielded, but he gave up the ghost, read.
And behold, the veil of the temple was rent in twain, from the top to the bottom.
From top to the bottom, read on.
And the earth did quake,
And the earth did quake,
and the rocks rent,
and the rocks went,
and the graves were opened,
and the graves were opened.
and many bodies of the sons which slept arose,
Many of the bodies of the sons which slept arose,
and came out of their graves
came out of their grave
after his resurrection,
after his resurrection,
and went into the holy city,
and went into the holy
and
city,
appeared to many,
huh?
and appeared to many.
And appeared unto many. Okay. Read on.
Now when the centurion and they that were with him, watching Joshua, saw the earthquake and those things that were done, they feared greatly, saying, Truly this was the Son of Elohim.
Now, I want you to understand, we're reading Matthew now. Go back to the 48th verse, 49th verse. I want to get before you get to the 50th verse.
48. And straightway one of them ran and took a sponge
Mm-hmm.
and filled it with vinegar
Mm-hmm.
and put it on a reed and gave him to drink.
Mm-hmm.
The rest said, Let us see whether Elijah will come to save him.
They want to see if Elijah's going to come and save him. I mean, they said, Eli, so that, they asked me, we want to see if Elijah is going to come and save him. Okay, we know.
Joshua, when he had cried again with a loud voice, yielded up the ghost.
Yield up the ghost, okay? Now we're talking about this at his death now, right?
Right.
Then in chapter 52, he's going to talk about his resurrection, right? Read 51 and 52 again so everybody will see.
And behold, the veil of the temple was rent in twain,
So when he was on the cross, he yielded up the ghost, the veil in the temple. Now remember, the veil in the temple, it goes across the room, right at the top, see? One veil going all the way across. Okay, read on.
was rent in
It was
twain
when it was torn
from the top
from
to
the
the bottom.
top to the bottom. Read.
And the earth did quake,
And the earth did quake,
and the rocks rent,
and the rocks rent. Read on.
and the graves were opened,
And the graves were open.
and many of the bodies of the sons which slept arose,
Read.
and came out of the graves after his resurrection,
After his resurrection, read on.
and went into the holy city,
And went into the holy city, read.
and appeared to many.
So now that's talking about his resurrection now. And when he said the holy city, the many of the graves, that the graves were opened up, and many of the sons that stepped rose and went into Jerusalem. Now in that number was Job,
Right.
Noah, and all them boys back there, they were in that number. And here he was now, I'm talking about Job, Moses, all them boys back there. They're not in bones, they're not coming out in bones. They come out with sinews. In other words, they appear to have flesh and bones on. See, so they're seeing him as a man or a woman raised from the dead. They were not physically, it was spiritual. They were having a vision of that. And Job was in the number. He said, yet in my flesh. Now he ain't got flesh, and God was putting flesh on, we're based on Ezekiel's prophecy. See? And he's standing, he's walking with the Messiah, for his own eyes have seen his salvation. See? I put another one in there too. You remember Simon? The one that took him to the temple when he circumcised? Simeon? When he circumcised? So now my eyes have seen the Lord, seen my salvation, and now I'm ready. He said his life was preserved to see the salvation of Israel. So he died. So he's in the number 2, folks. See? Okay. You know, I'm trying to show that all this is a resurrection now. They saw him in vision, saw him in the spirit. Okay. Let me see. Finish your reading, Matthew, still in Matthew. I'm trying to make sure. When we read, we got to read carefully. See? Okay, read on.
And came out of their graves after his resurrection, and went into the holy city,
Went into the holy city.
and appeared to many.
And appeared unto many. Read.
Now when the centurion and they that were with him, watching Joshua, saw the earthquake and those things that were done, they feared greatly, saying, Truly this was the son of the Elohim.
Truly this was the son of Elohim. Read.
And many women were beholding afar off, which followed Joshua from Galilee, ministering unto him, among which were Mary Magdalene, and Mary the mother of James, and Joseph, and the mother of Zebedee's children. Now when the evening was come, there came a rich man of Arimathea.
Oh, wait a minute now. What's he coming now? You know, we're talking about the resurrection already. This is before the resurrection. We're going to read now what happened before, at his death on the cross. Do y'all see what I'm talking about? I'm trying to show you, they talked about his resurrection, about him rose up and went into Jerusalem. But all goes on down, it's talking about now what happened after his death on the cross. And then Joseph obviously asked for his body. Buried in his own tomb.
Oh, I see, yeah.
It's not a sequence, that's all.
It's
It's
gonna be raised.
not a sequence. But now, what we read about was about him going, them sons going into Jerusalem, right? They're going into Jerusalem.
Right.
He appeared unto men. 1 Corinthians 15:1.
First Corinthians 15:1. Moreover, brethren,
Moreover, brother,
I declare unto you the gospel,
I declare unto you the gospel,
which I preached unto you,
which I preached unto you. Now, this is what Paul preached to them in Corinth. Read.
and wherein ye stand,
And wherein you stand,
by which also ye are saved,
by which also you are saved. With the God, wherever he preached to them, they're saved by it.
if ye keep in
If.
memory
You keep in memory
what I preached unto
what I
you,
preached unto you,
unless ye have believed in vain.
unless you believe it in vain. You read.
For I delivered unto you first of all
I delivered unto you first of all
that which I also received,
that which I also received,
how that Yahshua died for our sins,
how he died for our sin,
according to the scriptures.
according to the scriptures.
And
Now,
that
what I want you to understand is, see, Paul, he was not with him when he walked around on the airplane before his death. Saul coming in after that. And on his way to Damascus, Joshua appeared. And so now Yahweh was bringing him up to date in a vision, causing him to be able to understand the Messiah came in to fulfill the law of the prophets. See? And died and was buried and raised from the dead. See? So now he's testifying. This is what he's teaching them there at Corinth. Okay, read on.
and that he was buried,
And then he was buried,
and that he rose again
and then he rose again
the third day,
the third day,
according to the scriptures.
according to the scriptures. So we have to see this death, burial, resurrection based on according to the scriptures. Read on.
And that he was seen by Kepha,
Then he seen by Cable. Now that's Peter. Read.
then by the 12.
Then by the 12 shall be the 11. Read.
After that,
After that,
he was seen by more than 500 brethren at
500
once.
brothers at one time. That's the day when he raised them dead. See, 500 saw them at one time. Read.
Of whom the greater part remain unto this present day,
Mhm.
but some are fallen
Some have
asleep.
fallen asleep from that. Okay. About 500 people, some have fallen asleep beyond.
After that, he was seen by James,
Mm-hmm.
then by all the apostles.
Then by all the apostles. Read.
And last of all,
And last of all,
he was seen by me also.
seen by me also. Sometimes so that they saw him enough to be able to recognize that he had risen from the dead. And he appeared to them, made 11 appearances to his disciples. Talk about the Messiah. See, he's coming in, and everything he did in his life was in fulfillment of something in the law and the prophets. And when everything had been done, fulfilled, then he said, it's finished. He's on the cross, and it's finished. He's finished fulfilling everything that Yahweh told him that he had to fulfill while he was in the flesh. See? And after he did that, see? Then you find, because the Messiah raised after his resurrection, you have Job and them in that number up there witnessing to that. See? Mark 16:12.
Mark 16 and 12.
Mm-hmm.
After that,
After that,
he appeared in another form.
he appeared in another form. He did not appear as a physical man now. He appeared in another form. So a spiritual body. He looked just like he did in the flesh, but in a spiritual form. John 21. Now I want to say, down in that verse, in that chapter, where okay, the first part of that verse is what is dealing with, was that when he went fishing? Or was that in the 20 chapter?
Yeah, it was-
20:26, that was about speak about Thomas. 20:26. I mean 20:26. Okay. Get that one, and we're gonna go into the section. Okay, let's read that. 20:26.
This is
Like the doors
John,
being shut.
Huh?
It's like the doors being
Yeah,
shut.
yeah.
John 20 and 26,
Mhm.
24.
He
But-
went with Thomas.
With Thomas? Yeah.
Get 24.
John 20 and 24.
Okay.
But Thomas, one of the 12,
Thomas, one of the 12.
called Didymus, was not with them when Yahshua came.
So when he appeared the first time to his disciples, there was only 9 of them there, 10 of them there. 10 of them there. There was 10 of
Jesus
them
is dead.
there. So Judas was dead. See? So one was not there when he first appeared to his disciples. Okay, read on.
And Thomas is an apostle. Or,
Huh?
and Thomas is one of the apostles.
Thomas is one of the apostles, right?
And disciples.
Hmm? We're his disciples.
Disciples.
We're his disciples.
The other
Okay,
disciples.
okay. He was a disciple
Right.
until Pentecost. Okay, read on.
25.
Mhm.
The other disciples therefore said unto him,
Now, the other disciples, they've already seen the Messiah as he raised from the dead. And Thomas, he was not there. So they were discussing that when he come to them, okay? Read on.
We have seen the Messiah.
We have seen the Messiah.
But he said unto them,
He said unto them,
Except I see
except I see,
in his hands the print of the
I
nails,
want to see his hand, the print in his hand,
and put my finger into the print of the nails,
and put my finger in the print of the nail,
and thrust my hand into his side,
thrust his hand into the side. This is Thomas. He said, I won't believe it until I see it for myself. See? Remember Job, he was talking about, in the latter day I'm going to stand there, I'm going to see him for myself, with my own eyes will behold him for myself. He was talking about eyewitnesses now. See? Now Yahweh had to cause this situation to come about to fulfill prophecy, to fulfill the scriptures. See? So here is Thomas. He said, I won't believe until I put my hand in their print in his hand, and in his side. See, but what happened now? Wait, before you go on, before you read, see? Isaiah 9 and 6. 9 and 6, 6 and 9. 9 and 6, I think it's right there.
For unto us a child is
For here's Isaiah saying, for unto us Israel a child is born. Read.
unto us a son is given,
Unto us a son is given,
and the government shall be upon his
and his
shoulders,
government shall be upon his shoulders.
and his name shall be called Wonderful
His
Counselor,
name shall be called Wonderful Counselor. Read.
of the mighty
Of
El,
the mighty El,
of the Father of eternity,
and the Father of eternity,
the Prince of Peace.
the Prince of Peace. See? Now that's a prophecy. So now you always got to cause the events to happen so that be fulfilled. And Thomas is already, he's up there saying, I won't believe till I put my hand in the nail print to his side. I won't believe it. See? Now go back over there in John 20 chapter, read.
John 20 and 21.
Mhm.
And thrust my hand in his side,
Mhm.
I will not believe.
I will not believe.
And after 8 days again his disciples were within,
And after 8 days, the disciples, they were within.
and Thomas with them.
And Thomas, now he's with them. So now you got all 11 of them there now. Read.
Then came Joshua,
Then came Joshua.
the doors being shut,
Doors being shut.
and stood in the midst.
Now, folks, you all know, if he raised a physical body, he couldn't get in that room without opening the door. So the room is being shut. What happened?
And said, Peace be unto you.
Peace be unto you. In other words, he appeared right there. He appeared unto them in the room, doors being shut. That means they're all experiencing or having a vision of him.
In the midst.
Okay, read.
And stood in the midst.
And stirred in the midst. Read.
And said, Peace be unto you.
Peace be unto you.
Then said he to Thomas,
Then said he unto Thomas.
Reach hither thy finger.
Now, 8 days ago, you had asked about putting your hand in my finger, in my hand, in my side.
Right.
See, now he said, reach here, Thomas, reach hither now, put your hand
Reach
in my
hither thy finger,
finger,
and behold my
and
hand.
behold my hand.
And reach hither thy hand, and thrust it into my side.
Uh-huh.
And be not faithless,
Be not faithless,
but believe.
but believe. Now, when Thomas saw him, he recognized, he able to identify who he was. What did he say? Read.
And Thomas answered and said unto him,
Thomas answered and said unto him,
Joshua my Eloah.
Joshua my Lord. He recognized him. Read.
Joshua said unto him, Thomas,
Thomas,
because thou hast seen me,
because you have seen me,
thou hast believed.
you have believed.
Blessed are they
Blessed are they
that have not seen,
that have not seen,
and yet have
but
believed.
yet believe. See, I believe that Yahweh did raise Joshua from the dead. And that he is the one, and if you have faith in him, see, the blood of the Messiah is what's going to save it, see. Now, folks, what's happening, folks? We'll say something to you about it. In 1975, a convention we had in Washington, D.C., Dr. Kennedy asked we were having a regional, we were having a international convention. And he asked to have the convention broken down into 4 groups, regions, 4 regions. And that was because you had so many people come to a convention and we were not able to find buildings that had enough room for everybody to participate or to come at the time. Okay. So, and at that time, I think it was about close to 5,000 people, maybe 4,000 people at that time. And we were trying to, so he was saying that we ought to divide and have 4 regions, and every region can have a convention, then we ought to be the one. Now, at the same time, each one, so they have 4 regions, regionals. And they had each region had a 2-week period of time that they can hold the convention in. And then the next one had their 2 weeks, and the next one had their 2. So during, from July to September, they can have each convention. Okay. So we were having them every 2 years, every odd year, which was the way we were having them before. Then in 2001, no, I should go back. They decided in 2001 to have an international again, because they found a building that we could have 10,000 people in the room. And that was the one we had in Opry Hotel there in Tennessee, Opryland Hotel
Nashville.
in Nashville, Tennessee. And after we had that one, the board then asked the members of the trustee board to, what they thought about continue having conventions. And I addressed the reason why I said we should have them, and told them that we should have them, and whether I think we need to deal with the gospel that was talked about the fountain at these conventions. And they decided that they wouldn't have any more conventions. So when different ones had, let's say, had a conference or a seminar, they were trying to restrict them down to how many days you have one. Mainly talking about Saturday and Sunday, man. And sometimes when people have class on Friday, they have class Friday night, Saturday. So they really didn't want to call it a seminar that way. They had a lot of rules they had about it. I'm saying all this to get you up to what we're coming down now. Now this year will be 10 years from the time we had that last international convention. Now what's going on now is, if I was back in Ohio, Dr. Gill was telling me that they had an officers board meeting there in St. Louis. They invited all the northern regional deans, and I think the presidents could come to a meeting they had there in St. Louis. And they had invited Dr. Harris to be a spokesman there. And so I called Dr. Gill this last week, probably last Thursday, Friday, one of the days I called him, and asked him how did it go. And his first response, I'm still trying to remove the knives out of my back.
Wow.
So he went on to tell me what happened. And he said that they had, on Saturday, they had a meeting, the dean's meeting that Saturday. And they were, he said the Rosemaker, which is the dean of St. Louis, said that the reason they had this meeting was because of so many people that hearing Dr. Harris's lectures. Sometimes I'm not conveying what he's actually teaching to the congregation. So he's trying to get them together so they all be in tune with what he was saying. That's what it's supposed to be having about. So if he got through having saying that the reason we're having this meeting was to get them all to be on the same page. Then he turned it over to Dr. Harris. Dr. Harris spoke for an hour and 40 minutes. Then he opened up for questions. Nobody was getting up, except Jeffrey Simmons from Springfield, Lejeune, Dr. Gill's wife, and Gill. Got me to ask questions. And he didn't go into much detail as to what was really said there. Then that evening they had a banquet. And after the banquet, they had Dr. Harris address the people again, and they asked Mary Harris, that's Dr. Harris's wife, and then Dr. Gill. Then Sunday morning, they had the regular class. I guess on that Saturday, Dr. Harris was saying that he's having four meetings in each region, to where he's going to go and talk to them about things he's been teaching them. Well, I got a call from Florida. Don Dorn, you all know Don Dorn, the general came here before, talking about, he was the one that fell out when he was in the Army, fell out when he heard about President Kennedy's death. He called me, that's about 5 or 6 weeks ago, and told me that he was, Jacqueline Megan was, Jackie Mixon was invited to go to a meeting in Texas. And so when you called me this past, was it yesterday? Yesterday. And he told me that I guess they had requested they could bring the dean and his wife, and I think it was 6 people they could bring with them. But anyhow, word got back to them and found out that the ones that come with them, they were not able to go to the business meeting. They could only go to the lecture they have. And so Jackie Mixon asked Don Dorn if he would go with him, and he said he would go. But then after he found out that they weren't going to let him go into the business meeting, he said he didn't want to go. So what we find that what's being asked, they are being requested. They're inviting certain ones to come to the meeting. Florida has about 11 schools in Florida, and only 3 of them was invited to the one in Texas. And I haven't heard anybody was going to be arrested yet, so I don't know what's going to happen there. But anyhow, I'm saying all this to let you see what's going on here. Now, Dr. King many times talks about the devil and what he did. He liked to circumscribe his people. And that's why all you in the Catholic Church for many years, you were not allowed to go to any other churches. You were not told not to go to any churches. 1962, they dropped that bar down, allowing me to go. I remember very well, because I went back to my work and told the Catholics that were there working there, that now you can go to any church you want to now. And they said, no, we haven't heard that. The priest had not told them about it yet. Where I found out in the paper that the Pope had given them permission that they can go visit the church. They didn't want you to do that because they figured you're going to hear something and not come back to the church. That's the reason why they didn't want you to do that. And Dr. King, I think one of my second time when I started going to class regularly, Dr. King made a statement that to me was very profound. So if you ever understand what's being taught here, you can go anywhere you want to. I don't have to be with you, because you're going to know for yourself. And that was powerful, because when you go to the churches, they'll tell you you can't go this, can't go that, can't do that, because they want to keep you heads around. See? So I'm seeing the same thing is being done now in school, because they only invite certain ones to go to be participants of certain things. And the reason why they stopped these conventions, they were having, because they didn't want, as it was said by, at the time, it was said that they didn't want the devil to shoot his stuff up at the conventions. And I know we were talking about me and Dr. Gill and others that was not going on with what's being taught in California. So I'm trying to be all up to date on what's going on and what's happening.
So there's going to be these meetings for the Western region, which we're a part of also?
Basically what was said, it's going to be 4,
Okay,
one each region.
but you don't know when yet?
I haven't heard anything about it.
Let's go.
First, got to be invited first.
Probably won't be in-
Probably may not be invited, but if we are, I probably will go. But that's the way that. It's sad what's going on. It's very sad. And I do remember, I'm going to bring this up before I get through here. On the Sunday, it was either Saturday night or Sunday, that meeting they had there in St. Louis. Gil was telling me that he got up and talked about the importance of the name being Yahshua Messiah, not Dr. Kelly. And then he said the other thing he got into was about the saving of the soul. That the soul had to be washed and cleansed. And so he was telling them that get for me 1 John 1:7. The King James Version, Revelations 1:5. No. Yeah, we'll get 1 and 5 now and get 7 and 9. Revelation 7 and 9.
Who's First John 1?
No, actually 7:14. First John 1 and 7. And then I said Revelations 1 and 5. It might be 1 and 6 or 7 in the King James and the Holy Name Bible. And then
7 and 9. And 7 and 9.
then 7 and I want 7 and
Is that Revelation 7?
Revelation 7. I think it's 17. Yeah, 14, 17. If not, we'll read it, we'll get it anyhow, but we'll get it. I'm trying to show what Gil was saying to them about being washed, being cleansed. See? Then I'll tell you what was said about it.
1 John 1 and 7. But if we walk in the light,
Now I said, now if, it's a condition now, if we walk in the light,
and he is the light,
and Joshua, he is the light,
we have fellowship one with another.
then we have fellowship one with another.
And the blood of Yahshua the Messiah,
And the blood of Dr. Kelly. Y'all wait on that. The blood of Joshua, see, has cleansed us from all sin. Correct. Cleanses from all sin. The blood of Joshua cleanses from all sin. Okay. Can you give me Revelations 1 and 5?
Revelation 1 and 5. And from Yahshua the Messiah, who is the faithful witness,
Who is the faithful witness,
and the first begotten of the
the
dead,
first to raise from the dead, never to die again. Now, there's been people that raised from the dead, but they had to die again. But now we're talking about those that raised, talking about him that raised from the dead and never to die again, talking about Yahshua Messiah.
and the prince of the kings of the earth,
And the prince of the kings of the earth,
unto him that loved us,
unto him that loved us,
and washed us
And
from our
washed us
sins in his own
from our
blood.
sins in his own blood. You got that one right? Now, over in Revelation the 7th chapter, John is talking about he has seen the 144,000. Then he said he saw another number that could not be numbered. Pick up at 9 and read that, 7 and 9.
After this I beheld,
As he saw the 144,000, he said, I beheld.
and lo, a great multitude,
And behold, a great multitude,
which no man could number,
which no man can number,
for all the nations and kindreds,
for all the nations and kindreds,
and people and tongues,
and people and tongues,
stood before the throne.
stood before the throne. Hold it right there for one moment. See? Now, if you consider, Yahweh had told Abraham he's going to bless his seed as the stars of heaven and as the sand of the sea. See? Now, if that were just to be just the Israelites only, Israel only, I'm talking about Israel, I'm talking about physical Israel only. So you're talking about maybe 15, 20 million Israelites. You can number that.
Right.
But see, you got to factor in those that believe in the Messiah. They become sons of Yahweh. That's an innumerable names, all nations and tongues. They make up that assembly. They make up the body of the Messiah. See? So that's talking about how many make up the body. So back over here, here's John in Revelation. I saw another number. It was talking about as he's seen all that 144,000. Now he's talking about he's seen nations and tongues and what I said, we don't.
After this I beheld, and lo, a great
A
multitude,
great
with
multitude,
no man could number,
no man can number, read.
for all the nations and kindreds and people and tongues,
Mhm.
stood before the throne,
Stood before the throne.
and before the Lamb clothed with white robes,
So they stood before the throne with clothed in white robes. Read.
and palms in their hands,
Palms in their hands.
and
Read.
cried with a loud voice,
And they
saying,
cried with a loud voice, saying,
Salvation to our Elohim,
Salvation to our Lord,
which sitteth upon the throne,
which sitteth upon the throne,
and unto the Lamb.
and unto the Lamb.
And all the angels stood round about the
All
throne,
the angels stood around us. See, when you go in the presence of Yahweh, we got all the angels around. See, we all in the presence of Him now. Read.
and about the elders,
And about the elders
and 4 beasts,
and the four beasts,
and fell before the throne on their faces,
they all fell before the throne upon their faces
and worshiped Elohim, saying,
and worshiped Dr. Kim.
no,
Worship Elohim. Read.
saying,
Saying,
blessing and glory,
blessing and glory,
and wisdom and thanksgiving,
wisdom and thanksgiving,
and honor and power,
honor and power.
and might
Mhm.
be to our Eloah
Mhm.
forever and ever. And one of the elders answered, saying unto me, What are these which are arrayed in white robes?
What are these that are arranged in white robes? This is one of the angels talking to John in the spirit. What are these that he's seen these thousands of people, millions of people in white robes? Who are they? The angel asking John. Read.
And whence came they?
And which did they come? Where did they come from? Read.
And I said unto him,
And I
Sir,
said unto him, Sir,
thou knowest.
thou knowest,
And he said unto me, These are they which came out of a great tribulation,
these are they that come out of great tribulation.
and have washed their robes,
They have washed their robes
and have made them white
and have made them white
in the blood of the Lamb.
in the blood of the Lamb. This is what Dr. Gill was trying to show, that you had to be washed up, be cleansed up.
Right.
See? They don't believe that. The statement was made, how can you take blood and clean, get something white out of blood? This is the mentality that you have there, folks. That was the International Game Center.
Oh my God.
No surprise. No surprise.
They do not, what you're seeing is all acting on a carnal mind level. They don't see that the washing by belief
Mm-hmm.
in Yahshua Messiah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, let me try it better than that. See, because I want you to see that if you're talking about you had to accept the blood of the Messiah,
Mm-hmm.
Revelation 12, about 9 or 10, 10 or 11, I went down, where it said they were saved by the blood of the Lamb.
10, 12 and 10.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, Now is come salvation.
Now, this is the voice from heaven saying, now is come salvation. So somebody's been delivered from something. So you read,
And strength,
and strength,
and the kingdom of our Lord,
and the king of our Lord,
and the power of his Messiah.
and the power of his Messiah.
For the accuser of our brethren
For
is
the
cast
accuser
down,
of our brother is
is
cast
cast
down
down.
among us. Read.
which accused them before Elohim
Mhm.
day and night.
Right.
And they overcame him
They overcame him
by the blood of the Lamb,
by the blood of the Lamb,
and by the word of their testimony.
and by the word of their testimony.
And they loved not their lives unto the death.
Uh-huh. How do you know that? How do you know that? Yahweh sent Moses down in the land of Egypt, and the Israelites were surrounded by the Egyptians.
Mm-hmm.
And Yahweh told Moses, tell Israel, take out a lamb without spot, without blemish. See? Slay the lamb on the 10th. I mean on the 14th part, on the 14th. Take him out on the 14th, take a stake on the 14th. Take the blood of the lamb and take a hyssop. Strike the lamb of the door, the right and left doorpost, dip him from the base. See? Exodus 12. start with 21, 22, 21, 22. I want to bring something about taking the blood and using the door. What's going to be next part?
It's 12 and 22. And ye shall take a bunch of hyssop
Mhm.
and dip it in the blood that is in the basin,
Mhm.
and strike the lintel and the two side posts with the blood that is in the basin.
Mhm.
And none of you shall go out at the door of the house
They're
until the
in their
morning.
house, they're in their house, and the blood is on the door, on the outside. See, read.
No.
Blood is on the inside.
So you waking
Nice
us
try.
up.
They are inside the house. The blood is on the outside.
According to
This is what I said. They are on the inside of the house. The blood is on the door on the outside of the house.
No.
No.
It's on the inside.
But nice try though.
Yeah. No, our blood is inside.
You're right. You're right. The blood is on the inside of the door. So they put this blood on the inside of the door, inside the
Blood
house.
of the lamb.
Blood of the lamb, right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Read on.
For Yahweh will pass through
This is what I want to get.
to smite the Egyptians.
Now, I want you to see what happened now. See? You're always not using guns and bows and arrows and pistols and stuff down there. He said, now what's going to happen? You put the blood on the door on the inside of the house. Like this is your house. You have accepted the blood of Yahshua within you. You got to have faith in him. That's what's going to be the blood that Yahshua is going to look for. He's going to be looking for when he's revealed from heaven.
Right.
And if you have accepted the blood of Messiah, then you are with him right now. See? Okay, read on what he says. What it says.
You're clean.
You're clean by the blood, right?
For Yahweh will pass through to smite the Egyptians.
For Yahweh, he's going to pass through the land of Egypt to slay the Egyptians, read.
And when he seeth the blood upon the lintel,
When he's sitting, now he's going to be on the outside. And he's going to see the blood on the inside. See? See? He's going to see the blood on the inside. Okay, read on.
and on the two side posts,
Mhm.
Yahweh will pass over the door,
Now, when he sees that, he's going to pass over that house. Read.
and will not suffer the destroyer
Or the
to
self of the destroyer to come in behind him and say, take him out. Firstborn, be on the beach. Read.
And ye shall observe this thing for an ordinance to thee and to thy sons forever.
Or another ordinance, give it is. So you're saying that Yahweh, he always has provided witnesses to show that you are clean through his blood. When you accept the blood of the Lamb, that's you being clean. That's you being accepted in the eyes of Yahweh. See, we're not going around here and kill a lamb and put blood in there till your white garment stick in the blood. But that's not what's going on. You're being purified by accepting the blood of the Messiah. That blood is atoning you. That's it.
Yahweh gave his blood for the atonement.
Yeah, but that's what I'm trying to get down to. Hebrews 10 and 5. Hebrews 10 and 5.
Hebrews 10 and 5. Wherefore, when he cometh into the world,
Wherefore, when the Messiah cometh in the world,
he saith,
he said,
sacrifice and offering
sacrifice and offering,
thou wouldest not.
thou wouldest not.
But-
Now, Isaiah said it back in Isaiah, the first chapter of Isaiah, he said, sacrifice and offering, thou wouldest not. Solomon said in Psalm, said, sacrifice burnt offering, thou wouldest not. Read on.
Sacrifice and offerings thou wouldest not.
In other words, he did not desire, he asked us to do this back then, that was only a type of shelter. He's teaching the people to, in type, to be able to accept the real thing when the Messiah came along. See, read on.
But a body
But a
has
body.
not prepared me.
It's not prepared thee. Yeah, I need the King James version.
No, that is.
That's what I'm reading.
Okay. Read on.
In burnt offering and sacrifice for
In
sin,
burnt offering and sacrifice for sin,
thou hast had no pleasure.
thou hast had no pleasure.
Then said I,
Then said
I come in the volume of the book, it is written of me, to do thy will, O Yahweh.
He's coming in the volume of the book, and it's written of him to do thy will, O Yahweh. Read.
Above when he said,
Above when he said,
sacrifice and offering and burnt offerings, and offering for sin, thou wouldest not.
now go back to that 5th verse again. So I want to put emphasis on one verse.
Wherefore, when he cometh into the world,
Mhm.
he saith, sacrifice and offering thou wouldest not, but a body
For a body
hast thou prepared me.
that thou prepared. In other words, Yahweh had prepared himself a body. And that body was Yahshua Shah, which had the blood that was going to atone for all man's sins from Adam all the way down to the last man in this age. It's a matter whether you accept it or reject it. That's what it's going to boil down to. When you accept the blood is on you, if within here you have accepted the blood, and Yahweh knows your heart. You tell me all I do, I believe everything Yahweh. You say all things you want to say about it. But do you really? Yahweh, he knows your heart. He knows whether you've been true or not true. Whether you've been guilty or not guilty. He knows it all. See? Yes, John.
Those white robes that we read about in Revelations, so it's kind of a question, but those white robes are symbolical of righteousness or cleanliness, pureness.
Right, right.
That's because they've accepted the blood.
Right, that's right. That's why it makes you pure.
And would that also mean that he's covered your nakedness,
That's what you give, that's why you clothe.
that you're clothed now?
Yeah, yeah, right.
And you're clothed with the Son.
Right.
So all those principles are there, right? Okay. that's fine.
1 Peter 1, 1.
Right.
First Peter 1:1.
Mm-hmm.
Peter, an apostle of Yahshua the Messiah,
Peter, an apostle of Yahshua Messiah,
to the sojourners
to the sojourners, people that have been scattered about, the sojourners around, read,
of the dispersion
Mhm.
scattered throughout Pontus,
Pontus,
Galatia,
Galatia, read,
Cappadocia,
Macedonia,
Asia,
Asia,
and Bithynia, elect according to foreknowledge of Yahweh.
the elect. I want you to get that. It says the elect before the foreknowledge of Yahweh. In other words, Yahweh, he foreknew that these are the ones that he's called together, called to be sons of Yahweh. You know.
Elect according to the foreknowledge of Yahweh the Father,
Mhm.
through sanctification of the Spirit,
Through sanctification of the Spirit,
unto obedience
unto obedience,
and sprinkling of the blood of Yahshua the
and the
Messiah.
sprinkling of the blood of Yahshua Messiah. And this place into the obedience of that.
Right.
See? To the sprinkling of the blood of the Messiah, read,
Grace unto you
grace be unto you,
and peace
peace. This is what you're going to, when you accept the blood of the Messiah, you're going to receive grace, you're going to receive peace, read,
be multiplied.
be multiplied, read.
Blessed be the El and the Father of our Savior,
The Father, our
Yahshua,
Savior, Yahshua Messiah, read.
which according to his abundant mercy
According to his Yahweh's abundant mercy,
hath begotten us again
they've begotten us again. That's how you're born again, begotten us again,
unto a living hope
unto a living hope.
by the resurrection of Yahshua the Messiah
By
from
the
the dead.
resurrection of Yahshua, that's why the gospel, the resurrection is so important. If you remember, when you go into Scripture, go in Acts and find and see how the apostles were accused all the time about the resurrection of the dead.
Right.
They had a big problem with that. That's what their constant fight was, to show that by the blood of the Messiah you were set free, you were delivered from it. You are escaped from sin through Yahshua Messiah. See, that's how you're redeemed when you accept the blood of the Messiah. See, a little more.
To an inheritance
And to an inheritance. Now you see, now maybe mom and dad were not rich enough to give you an inheritance. But thanks be to Yahweh, Yahweh has that inheritance if you accept the blood of the Messiah. See? Okay, read on.
to an inheritance incorruptible,
Incorruptible,
undefiled,
undefined. Now, anybody leave you gold, and man leave you silver, and all this stuff. A good fire and all this stuff. See? See? So you see, that's not incorruptible. Read on.
and that fadeth not away,
It faded not away.
reserved in heaven for you.
Reserved in heaven for you. See? Now you find Paul Paul records there in, I think it's 2 Corinthians 10 chapter, where it says, those are crowned up in heaven. No, that's not, that's in Timothy, in 2 Timothy 4 chapter, I think it is, 4 and about 6. See, I say, I know there's a crown there in heaven. See,
4 and 8, yeah.
4 and 8,
6. 4 and 6.
4 and 6.
Second
First Timothy,
Corinthians 4 and 6.
2 Timothy 4 and 6.
For I am now ready to be offered, and the time of my departure is at hand.
Now this is Saul in the last part of his life. See, not ready to be offered up, read.
I have fought a good fight.
I fought a good fight.
I have finished my course.
I finished my course.
I have kept the faith.
I have kept the faith.
Wherefore,
Wherefore,
there is laid up for me a crown of
there is
righteousness,
laid up for me a crown of righteousness,
which Yahweh,
which Yahweh,
the righteous judge,
the righteous
shall
judge,
give me at that day,
shall give me at that
and
day.
not to me only,
But not unto me only,
but unto all them that love his appearing.
but to all them that love his appearing. So we all get right crown. We go get crown. We get the crowns. See, Revelation 4. Oh, 4, Revelation 4, talking about the 11th verse, 10th verse.
Revelations 4 and 10.
Uh-huh.
The 4 and 20 elders fall down before
The
him.
4 and 20 elders, now those are the apostles and the tribes of Israel. 4 and 20 elders, 12 apostles and the 12 heads of the 12 tribes of Israel. So you read, the 24 elders.
The 4 and 20 elders fall down before him that sat
So
on
when
the
John's in
throne.
the spirit, he's looking back and seeing that.
Right.
Now Peter, he's talking about he's going to receive a crown. See? So now here's John looking at this here now. See?
Paul.
Paul says he's going to receive a crown. I think 5 Peter does so also. See, but read on.
Before him that sat on the throne, and worship him that lived forever and ever,
Worship him that live forever.
and cast their crowns before the
So
throne,
now
saying,
they recognize that Yahshua is the one to give the glory to. And you're going to throw his crown, throw the crown down at his feet. See? You already found out the Messiah, when he's back there fighting for Israel, see? He went and killed the two kings in the wars, and then went over to Canaan and killed 31 kings in Canaan. See, he's got a whole head of crowns. See, and he's coming up there. See, in Revelation 19 and 10, you find that John said that he's on the head of crowns. I think Revelation 19, I think it's 11, 10, 11. Hmm?
11.
Revelation 19:11. And I saw heaven open,
John said, I saw heaven open,
and behold, a white horse,
and behold, a white horse.
and he that sat upon
And
him
he that sat upon him
was called Faithful and True.
was called Faithful and True.
And in righteousness he doth judge and make war.
He does judge and make war.
His eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns.
Upon his head was many crowns.
And he had a name written
He had a name written,
that no man knew, but he himself.
but he himself. So that's the one we're following. We're following him that rides on the white horse. And you're going down and find the innumerable number following him. The great army following him. And those that believe in him, they make up that great army. See? So now you're able to see that Yahshua, he is our Savior. Give glory to nobody else but the Yahshua side and his Father Yahweh.
Right.
Thank you very much.
I think you're gonna get that.
I'll see.
You better do it. Because the lines are too long. I'm sure and hope and trust everybody enjoyed today's class, and make sure you get all your personal items. This is all stand and be dismissed for doxology. Now to him is able to keep you from falling and to present you faultless before the presence of his glory with exceeding joy. To the only wise Elohim, our Savior, through Yahshua Messiah, our Sovereign, belong glory, majesty, dominion, and power, both for all time, now and ever. Let us all say.
Hallelujah.
Good night.